Hello, we're the Children's Occupational Therapy Service, and today we're going to show you how to use a knife and fork. Things you need to think about when using a knife and fork include positioning at the table, holding the knife and fork, the cutting action, the style of the knife and fork, different knife and fork options that are available to buy, and the things you can do to practice. The first thing we need to think about is positioning. You can see in this picture that we need to have our feet flat on the floor or supported on a footrest, which could be a small stool or step. Our knees should be bent, our bottom should be all the way back in the chair, and we should be sitting up tall with a nice straight back. Our feet, knees and hips should all be at a 90-degree angle. Now we're ready to think about how we hold the knife and fork. We like to encourage children to hold the knife and fork like this. You need to place your pointy fingers where they're going to be the most effective to give you enough pressure to hold and cut. Think about where you put your pointy finger. Too far back is not stable, and too far forward might get your fingers in your dinner. The pointy fingers are on the back of the cutlery. If you need help remembering where to put your pointy fingers, you can try putting elastic bands or nail varnish here, where you want your fingers to go. We've used stickers, but these would obviously wash off. Not everybody holds their knife in their dominant or writing hand. The knife usually works best in the strongest hand, but remember this might not be the writing hand for your child. When you've decided which hand you're going to hold the knife with and which hand you're going to hold the fork with, it is important to stick to these hands so that practice is the same every time. Why not make yourself a placemat? This reinforces which hand your knife and fork should go in. These are available to buy online, but make sure the placemat shows the knife and fork the correct way round for your child. For example, this one would be for a child who holds their knife in their right hand. Now let's think about the cutting action. If your child is struggling to use a knife and fork together, start by just using the knife. Hold the knife in the strongest hand. When cutting, you're moving the knife forwards and backwards in a sawing action. You can say out loud, forwards, backwards, backwards, to encourage and reinforce this movement. Once you've mastered using the knife, you can introduce the fork to stab and hold the food still. We like to use the phrase stab, slide, saw, because we stab the food to hold it still, we slide the knife down the front of the fork, and we saw with the knife. If your child likes to eat like this, with chicken wings, encourage them to bring the elbows down into their side. This action automatically puts the hands into a better position. We find chunky handles are easier for children to hold. Here we have some cutlery that is flat and has a wide handle, which gives a bigger area for your hand to hold and grip. A serrated steak knife may also help. Different styles and types of cutlery are available to buy. Look for options that are age appropriate for your child and the right size for your child's hands. This is Nana's Manners, a knife and fork which might suit younger children. This is Junior Cura cutlery. And this is Junior Caring cutlery. Both have a flat-shaped place for the pointy finger, and both are shaped to fit into the palm of your hand. For older children, adult versions of this cutlery are available. Here we have a tum-tum knife and fork, that again is flat and has a wide handle. There is also a bigger area to support your pointy fingers, and they are heavier, which some children might find makes them easier to control. You don't want to make mealtime stressful, so practice with snacks and make it fun. You could practice with a banana. Here we have left the skin on and drawn some lines. The red lines to show where to stab with the fork, and the black lines to show where to saw with the knife. You could also try cutting cheese pieces and apple slices when you're eating your snack. Don't expect a child to cut up a whole meal from the start. Agree on one food that your child is going to cut up on their plate, such as the boiled potatoes, and you cut up the rest.